Tommy's not in Discord yet, though.
No, he's not. But we are streaming, so here we go. I'll do a mic check for you in a moment.
Okay. And wait in the meantime.
Sure. Come on.
In here.
Come on, stream. Okay. Says we're live now. Go into the video link. All right, I'm going to mute myself and listen in. So do a mic check now.
All right. Mic check, 1, 2. This is Rick Riddell testing his audio.
All right, we're good. All right, so welcome back to quite a shock to me, our second stream of the day. We have entered the second round of Swiss here in the Militant Casual West Coast Jank Tank tournament. And a couple of my players were just so excited to get moving again that we're streaming tonight. We're going to also stream tomorrow night. So I'm your host for this stream. As always, I'm Ben, one of the founders of Militant Casuals and the tournament organizer. I'm not actually flying in this tournament because we had exactly 16 players, but I am thus opened up to be able to do this pretty much anytime people have games going and I have free time. With me in this broadcast is, as in earlier today's broadcast, the one, the only Seal Clubber of Militant Casuals, Rick Riddell.
Folks, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to join you, Ben. I assume this is probably going to be the only one I'm going to be able to make, as I am actually going to be playing tomorrow night.
Yep, tomorrow night's matchup, our feature of the week, is the 14 seed Vince Mergado versus the 1 seed Rick Riddell. Seeding really just reflecting draft position, so it would be quite an upset for the 14 to beat 1 here. Today is also sort of a mismatch. So today's match is between Darryl McMillan, another one of the Golden Gate aces who we've occasionally drafted into the Militant Casuals fold. Darryl's a longtime X-Wing player with a lot of success under his belt at System Opens and Worlds, etc. Darryl is flying Rebel Alliance today. He's going to be taking Corn Horn with Outmaneuver, Advanced Proton Torpedoes, R5D8, and the favorite of the favorite of Yasby, Static Discharge Vanes. He's got Hera, Light Freighter with Intimidation, Dorsal Turret, Skilled Bombardier, and the Ghost title for no good reason, and Captain Rex naked in a TIE Fighter. You were going to say something, Rick.
Yep. I was just going to say that Corrin, if you don't pay attention, that Corrin's going to eat you alive.
Yeah, it's not a terrible Corrin. I mean, it's a heavy Corrin at 90 points. It's funny to see Corrin coming in actually at a higher point total than Hera in the Ghost, but here we are. Corrin Horn weighs in at about 90 points, and Hera comes in at only 80. It's pretty light. Hera, now, despite the being light, Intimidation and Dorsal Turret are both excellent upgrades. Skilled Bombardier and Ghost are a bit of waste of points there. And then, of course, Captain Rex is a pretty decent support TIE Fighter. Now, Tommy is playing a faction he doesn't spend a lot of time on. Tommy is playing Galactic Empire, and he's got Scourge Scutu, our second appearance of Scourge today. This Scourge has a stealth device. He's got the Major Vermeil TIE Reaper with Emperor Palpatine and a targeting computer, and I believe targeting computer is what he added to Vermeil. Because he's also got Colonel Vessery, and Vessery also is running around with Mag Pulse Warheads and a Tractor Beam and Intimidation. So probably wishes he didn't have the Magpulse missiles on Vessery, but that's a pretty not terrible list overall. Vessery is going to obviously get benefit if Major Vermeil gets a target lock on his target, and Emperor Palpatine's always good to have riding along. And of course, Rick here is a Reaper expert, so I'll let him weigh in a bit on Tommy's squad.
Yeah, so as I mentioned in the previous stream, I spent a lot of time looking at all of the lists, much to the chagrin of the other people picking their lists. And I seriously looked at this list. I think it's the second best Imperial list in the tournament. In all honesty, I think that Vessery with the intimidation on it negates one of the biggest weaknesses of a TIE defender, which is getting blocked. Because if his opponent makes an effort to block him, then they're going to lose an agility and get lit up by Scourge and Major Vermeil. Major Vermeil with the coordinate on him can move either before or after Vessery to give extra actions away. And the combination of being able to use a target lock and Major Vermeil's ability, and also Palpatine gives him essentially triple modded attack dice at a tokenless defender, and so I just love the synergy of this list, and I agree. I think the only really wasted points are those Magpulse missiles, but the tractor beam isn't great either. But there are ways to make use of that, such as shooting a target that is bumped on Major Vermeil and tractoring them off of him to give Major Vermeil a shot.
And what's funny about that is, Magpulse missiles, yeah, they've got a point cost issue. Tractor beam is free, so who cares, right? Like that one being added on isn't nearly as big a deal as maybe a better upgrade in place of Magpulse missiles.
I think this is one of the few times where you kind of wish that instead of having Scourge, you had that 44-point Onyx squadron pilot we saw earlier. The ion turret and the target lock action would probably come in very, very helpful.
Right. All right, so our players are trying to figure out why there was already ships loaded for Darryl, and it seems to maybe have broken maybe Darryl's ability to actually use player 2. So they may be resetting briefly here, but that's fine. We've got all night. And we should be joined for analysis by Daniel Lim shortly.
Excellent. Bringing back some experience to the crew. One of the things I can actually talk about while we wait for Daniel and the players to get reset is I, on my own YouTube channel, casted Tommy's first game. There were some technical difficulties. I actually don't recommend watching that stream, or at least don't watch it with the sound on.
But
what I
you
was seeing,
just get one side of a conversation. It's fine.
Yeah. Turns out when you are casting, you need to make sure that it is recording your own microphone in addition to all the other sources.
Yeah.
So where am I going with this? Right. What I was seeing is that Tommy is very unfamiliar with flying Imperial ships, and I saw a lot of dial decisions that I would not necessarily have made as somebody who flies Imperials as my first faction. That kind of ended up costing him in the end. He had a significant advantage after 2 turns, but he forgot some triggers, and he brought Vessery to the fight very, very late. And so he just never had enough shots for it to matter, for him to do enough damage. And he gave up Vermeil before anybody else got there and was able to roll attack dice.
Yeah. Hey, Rick, since we had to resync, can you do me a favor and copy and paste the 2 lists into public notes? I was just getting them from the tabletop TO text versions of the lists. it got disappeared. I didn't copy and paste it when they reset. So if you click
Okay, there's the
notes,
notes.
yep,
And then I go to public.
yep, and just paste the text in there, I should be able to see it. You may have to save before I can see it.
Okay. I have to resynchronize as well because if they started a new game,
They did.
okay,
So we're
then
just
I will probably
navigating
have to
Vassal
resynchronize.
over here. This is good internet content, I know, for those of you listening.
We keep it fun, don't you worry. All right. Fast and loose, and on the edge of out of control. Shift enter. I can just hit enter. All right, Darryl.
I mean, I could go back over, but then people see all my... There we go, perfect. Thanks. Okay, I'll clean this up.
Yep. Ton of rocks on this table. I think I need to go resync to Tommy.
Yep, you probably do.
Player 7. Finish.
All right, there we go. Back to where we wanted to be. I will save
Okay.
that. All right.
All right.
So you've kind of covered the Empire list here. Palpatine riding along with Vermeil is not that different from riding along on a Tydirium shuttle. You're down 1 overall health, but you gain some
You're so much more
squirreliness.
maneuverable.
What's that?
You're so much more maneuverable. It's not
Yeah,
even
you're
funny.
much more maneuverable. It doesn't, while the shuttle does have the butt shot now, and that does make the shuttle a much better ship. The squirreliness of Vermeil is pretty helpful. Of course, if Vermeil is also riding along with Vessery, this list does require Vermeil not to just kind of go off on his own. And then for the Rebel Alliance side, I am really interested to see Darryl's approach to this fight. Neither Corrin nor Hera nor Rex really need each other. There's not a lot of synergy going on here. And so he kind of could, just put one on each flank and one down the middle and see where things go. Both of our players have gone with the largest sets of rocks. So this might be a pretty cluttered board. But neither of these guys is playing a swarm, so that doesn't really matter that much. We'll see. I'd imagine that Tommy's goal is to try to make it hard for the Ghost to move through the middle of the map, and maybe try to keep Hera along the outside where he can kind of manage Hera's. The cool thing about Hera, obviously, is that Hera has all of those options in terms of changing maneuvers. If you can keep Hera, at a board edge, then that becomes much less of a useful thing. So I'd imagine Darryl's going to want to put Hera in the center of the board and really make use of the options that Hera opens up, and we'll see if the rocks will let him do that.
The large rocks are a good counter to Hera, but if I were flying Tommy's list, I would have gone with gas clouds.
Okay, why?
If the ailerons on the Reaper, you just dial up a blue maneuver, and you do not care about that gas cloud if you run over it with your ailerons. Because even if you take the strain, the blue maneuver clears it. And then with the Defender, even if you have to go fast and go over the gas cloud, you still get your evade, which obviously is very helpful. And even if you roll the strain, you still will hopefully have that obstructed shot on you because you went over the gas cloud. And it provides you more flexibility in your dials when you make those decisions.
So Tommy gave the initiative to Darryl here, and has placed the last rock. We've got kind of a crescent moon shape here of rocks. I'll be interested to see how Tommy in setup is hoping to make use of this, or more to the point, how Darryl is. In terms of initiatives, Hera and Corrin are tied with Scourge, and of course then Vessery and Vermeil are at 4. That leaves basically Captain Rex to be the blocker on the board. Well,
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard to block Hera as long as Hera's got options, and Corrin maybe more so.
My targeting priority is don't shoot Rex on the first turn. And then on the second turn, set up to put at least 2, if not 3 shots into Rex and delete him. But if possible, to use Vessery to get the block on Corrin and then take a lock.
Yeah,
and then when Corrin...
Sorry.
And then when Corrin takes the bump... use Vermeil to get the block on Corrin. And then when Corrin takes the bump, he'll be tokenless, and so use that tractor shenanigans to pull Corrin off of Vermeil and have Vermeil essentially put what can reliably be 4 hits into a reduced agility Corrin.
Yeah. Yeah, the interesting thing about this rock setup is it doesn't really give the support position on the bottom lane very many options. So I'm going to be interested to see how Darryl sets up here. There's not really an opportunity here to drive up 3 different lanes and kind of adapt to what Tommy wants here, because the offset of the rocks towards the bottom left lane really make it so if you go that way, you're going the long way around, particularly if that's the ghost down there. I think ideally what I would have wanted to set up here is Rex essentially where Rex is, Corrin somewhere in the middle, and Hera at the edge. So I'm really interested to see, what happens with setup here. Of course, both Corrin and Hera are going to have full knowledge of Tommy's setup when they do go on the board. So it is time for Tommy's 4s.
I would assume Vermeil goes in that top corner, not too far from where he's currently set up. It gives him the most options with his dial coming out of turn 1. And let's see here. And Vessery probably runs on the inside of him. And so they can both move very aggressively. Alternatively, Tommy puts them in the bottom corner, which allows them to have the most flexibility on where they turn it and how they engage.
Yeah, I think
there are options.
Yeah, I think to that point, I think if with the ability to set up and with the dials that both the Reaper and the Defender have, I think I put Vermeil in the bottom corner as a feint to try to get Darryl to commit a force to that sort of lane, again, because those rocks are there, and then I just bail out first chance I get, right? And I
the
probably,
1 bank 3 bank is huge.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. And I think that I'd put probably Scourge facing Rex, because Ty versus Ty is going to go Scourge's direction there. And then I actually think I probably put Vessery between the 2 rocks in the top quadrant, just because you still have lots of options there. You could dive straight in. You could also turn to support Vermeil. There's just all sorts of things that you could do with that setup. So, and a lot of that obviously will depend on what Well, I guess it doesn't really depend, because Tommy's putting everything on the board now before those other 2 guys go.
Yeah, I actually just made a mistake in my advice to Tommy, so I need to go edit that real quick.
Okay.
Check 1 2. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, Daniel has joined us, and
All right, perfect.
oh yeah, of course. I don't know why I didn't zoom the map yet. There we go. So Daniel, as everybody who's been listening to us knows, is the guy who actually knows what the hell he's talking about. Daniel is from the Capital Corsairs, though we drafted him into the Militant Casuals, and he's a traitor to the Capital Corsairs now. So welcome
Whoa,
back,
whoa,
Daniel.
whoa. Hold on. Not trader, just part-time, part-time casual militant.
Oh, sorry. Did I give
He's a
up?
privateer.
We gave him a letter of marque, and now he works for us. Um, so we've just been talking about setup here. Only Captain Rex is officially set up yet. Rick was talking about potentially Vermeil being in the top left corner. I think Vermeil goes in the bottom left-hand corner to try to bait Darryl into setting up two ships down there where they have fewer options for maneuver. I would put Vessery sort of between the top two rocks and put Scourge essentially where he is, just to threaten Captain Rex. And then obviously from there you react to what Darryl does in setup response. If I'm Darryl, I try to spread out my ships and I try to give Hera some place, a position where Hera has all of those dial options available to her, probably somewhere in the middle as well. So, Daniel, your thoughts on these lists and what they're going to do at setup here?
I'm not sure about setting up directly across. I like Rick's idea, like what looks like Tommy's doing right now, is setting up diagonally. If you set up directly across, I feel that Darrow's list has the much better opening joust potential compared, because it'll be difficult for Vessery to grab that target lock off the bat, and if you miss the target lock, then Vessery is kind of not as good, of course. And then Scourge at I5 doesn't have a target lock action. I like setting up diagonal in this situation just because he can use those bottom four or five big rocks as a barrier to force the ghost to come through. And Hera is quite maneuverable, but she's still very wide as a large footprint as a ghost. So Darryl will have to have some fancy flying to get through those rocks without landing on them.
Yeah, Major Vermeil went essentially where I thought he would. It's really Vessery being there along the edge that is interesting too. I do understand. And there goes Scourge into that block too. So it looks like we're going to have a few turns before we get to combat. It'll be interesting to see what Tommy does with his opening moves here, and kind of how Darryl deals with his formation.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think if we were to simplify things down and try to summarize what we're saying is that Tommy's list is faster, and though Darryl's list is nothing to be shy of. But the counterplay is that Darryl's list has a lot more punching power and has more Alpha Strike potential.
Yeah, for sure. And it still is super hard for me to think of Scourge as being the ace of a list, but he very much is at I5 here, the ace of Tommy's list. So Tommy and Darryl both have their dials down, and we'll be able to see what they choose to do. I'd imagine that we get some banks from the Rebels, and probably some straights from the Imperials.
And away we go.
And Captain Rex is a too hard left. Pretty safe move, and the barrel roll back towards the board edge, because God knows Vessery was going to get on him this turn. Wait, no, that's not right. All right, so now Tommy's entire list. We just have the one boost aileron and a one forward for Major Vermeil. Now, I'm a little surprised, actually, that Vermeil doesn't get a little bit of separation here and maybe threaten a flank off the bat here. But, of course, and with initiative, Yeah, that's right. With initiative, both of the Rebel 5s move before Scourge does. So we had that a little backwards, or I did anyway. So looks like Darryl's hoping to maybe pull around or near the corner of the bottom rock rather than go through the rocks as Daniel you were saying you know probably Tommy's hoping for.
Yeah, and with Tommy, it's still not the end of the world. He can always turn back around to the left and or do like a sloop right here, and he'll be keep Darryl guessing in terms of where he's going. Um, but yeah, there's still plenty of time to maneuver for that open engagement.
Yep. And Corrin uses his ship ability to get that early target lock on Major Vermeil, showing that Darryl is prioritizing getting the Palp carrier off the board. That was a very quick round one, and we are already back to dials. So, if you guys are Darryl, are you hoping that Tommy's willing to engage in the bottom right-hand corner, or around that rock, or maybe between the bottom right corner rock and the one to its left?
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna go nice and slow with my rebel ships. 1-4 to victory, as they say,
Yep.
and see where the Imperials go. And then once Imperials start making their move, I'm just gonna one bank to victory at that point.
Yeah. I mean, the challenge for Vermeil, and Rick, this is something I'm going to throw to you, is that Vermeil's got to do that that aileron move, unless Tommy remembers to maybe use the coordinate.
It's a way to shut down the aileron and slow yourself down. But I still think, especially with a medium base, you want to have that aileron move on the turn you engage because it allows you to jump from 4 to 1 in terms of ranges. And hopefully, the best way to keep Vermeil alive and to keep Palpatine in this fight is to have Vermeil bumping so he's not getting shot. To that end, I really don't like this spacing for Vermeil because he's going to be engaged in combat not this turn but next turn unless he one hards,
Yeah.
one banks left, and then one hards and starts just to run around.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, probably it's to Tommy's advantage to try to squeeze one of his ships through the gap between, the center bottom rock and the left bottom rock, which isn't really towards the bottom as much, right? The only ship that really can do that right now is Vermeil because of the positioning, and start to threaten a flank. Because if he jousts these rebels, he's the one who's made the mistake, right?
Yep.
And if you're not familiar with what I mean by that, listeners, there's that old saying in X-Wing that when two lists joust, one person has made a terrible mistake.
Okay, I see what Tommy's doing, and I don't like it.
Well, he did reverse course here, so Vermeil is not going to be part of any joust, and neither is Vessery. So he has, in some sense, gotten the rebels to start to pull down towards the rocks. So Rick, you don't like this. Daniel, what do you think?
I'm actually okay with it. He's going to hopefully incentivize Darryl to rush forward and pull him through those rocks where Hera will be much less effective. Darryl is playing it slow. It looks like he's just going to barrel roll back, cause the bump. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
And just kind of take his time, stay in the open field. So it's going to be a game of almost like chicken, right? Who's going to make the first move, and whoever does is going to most likely lose.
Yeah, I actually really like this move from Tommy just because he loses a joust around the corner. And so, it's to his advantage to try to reset. And, Captain Rex can sort of turn around and head back towards the gap between the top two rocks, but he's going to be in the way of the Ghost to some extent, or he's just going to fall behind the other two ships. So, it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, of course, with that stress, Major Vermeil's not going to have the benefit of the boost before he goes. So, he's also in some sense blocking poor Scourge here potentially for a bit. So no combat obviously, and we're on to dials for round 3 already. How do you recover this, Rick, if you are Tommy? What do you do next?
One bank on Vermeil, because that's the only blue bank.
Yep.
So that's the easiest dial in the world to set right now. I might even 4K again with Vessery, just to keep Darryl honest. But why I don't like this is because the Reaper is so slow to turn around if it's being chased, because you don't want to turn around and get and be stressed
at engagement
while your opponent at engagement. And so what you can see here is he is now going to have to play incredibly defensive with Vermeil, and he won't really be able to use his front arc for, I would say, like 3 or 4 turns now.
Well, to me, it depends, right? Because as you say, if Vessery does a 4K and thus can continue to threaten a flank, and Scourge is going to have to probably do a 2 bank. Vermeil could do another sloop and be ready for figuring out where he's going to go next in the next round.
And that's kind of my point is.
So Vessery doesn't K-turn though.
Yeah. Vermeil is probably going to be the 1 bank, 3 bank. And if Darryl 2-hearted Corrin and Hera, then you're looking at a joust. There's no way to dodge that joust. Yeah. And that didn't happen though.
Yeah, so we've got a 3 bank, and of course the E-Wing can boost, so we'll see if he maybe tries to boost in to get a shot on Vermeil this round. He does have the target lock on him. So that's a possible range 3, but through a rock, Vermeil's got the evade. I don't imagine any damage is going to get through on this, and I'm not even sure Darryl should spend a target lock on an attack like this anyway. So we'll see what Scourge does. Hera does the 2 hard, so here we have an indication that Darryl is going to pick 3 different lanes for each of his ships. And honestly, I don't like Hera's positioning. What do you guys think?
I do like it. Like I was saying, it scares Vermeil to the point where now one way out of this for Tommy is to 1 bank right, then 1 sloop back left, and then 3 hard Vessery. But that's also assuming Scourge doesn't just muck all that up.
But I mean, here's the thing, right? Like Hera's now more or less, I mean, unless Hera does a 1 hard, which is red, to follow Corrin, which, could do. Hera's more or less committed to go the long way around here. And which means, from my perspective, there's no way that's where Hera's going. Because he can't afford to have Corrin and Captain Rex engage by themselves, right? And in fact, I think that, Vermeil here could do a 1 bank boost and then a sloop and be right back in the fight here. Maybe gets in the way of Scourge, but I don't think so. I think Scourge can 1 hard, and I think that Vessery can do whatever the Vessery wants. And all of a sudden, possibly the Imperialist has 3 arcs on Corrin, and Hera is fucking around, 50 miles away.
Does Hera have a red straight maneuver?
No, only K-turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reds on it are 1 hard, 3 hard, and the K-turn.
So you're thinking about Hera's ability.
So yeah, which means he could have dialed up like a straight maneuver to cover that gap, and then if Tommy nopes out of that option, then he could rotate his dial around to give him another option, or he 1 straights which allows him to come in the gap, in the top of that little triangle gap
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the middle of the board.
Yeah.
But then you're playing into Tommy's favor because now Hera is stuck between these all these rocks and can't do what she wants to do.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised
Fair.
at Corrin's positioning here. I really think that Corrin has, to an extent, been hung out to dry.
Yeah, Darryl got greedy, tried to get a free shot, and it didn't pay off.
All right, we've got dials down on the Imperial players, we've got dials down on the Rebel players, and we're off to turn 4. So now I think we'll see a really key turn. It may seem weird to say so, but I do think this is going to be really. It's really important that for Darryl to find a way to get all of his ships engaged here.
That was kind of a weird move.
Yeah,
for
that's
Rex.
so 5 forward for Rex.
Kinda
Kind of puts Rex in the way
blocks.
of Corrin, right, Daniel?
Exactly. Yeah, Corrin can't. He could do a 1 forward, but I think his like 2 bank and 3 bank are blocked, and unless he's just gonna nope out of there, then you leave Rex to die. I don't know.
Well, I guess he could, 3 bank left and be working to flank. Tommy's guys. So Vermeil just does the 1 bank and 3 forward. He's going to have no shot and take shots this turn.
Mm-hmm. He did take a lock onto Rex though.
Yep.
To set up Vessery potentially.
Yeah,
though I think that blocks Vessery's 3 turn.
It does. But Vessery will still get the benefit of that lock if he's got range.
Tractor Rex onto the rock.
Which he could.
If miracle dice happen.
Oh, and Corrin self-blocks.
That's a big old fat bump.
Huh.
My guess is Darryl misjudged some distances there.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you don't play Vassal very often, going from the tabletop to a digital medium it's very different.
Yeah. Yep. I'm so used to engine upgrade from 1.0.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and being like,
So,
okay, Hera's going to boost. But nope.
Yeah, I was going to say. So Hera has now committed to essentially take that gap, or the long way around.
That bump is going to make it very difficult to line up Corrin's bullseye in future turns.
Well, I'm being told by an authority in chat that we're just dead wrong about all of this, so.
I think that authority is also trying to tell me in chat that we're all dead wrong.
All right, so the only shot looks like it is Captain Rex on Major Vermeil through the rock. So we've got a 2-on-4, range 3 through the rock.
That'd be 3. 2 on 3.
Oh, right, yes. The Reaper is a 1-die ship. Can you go tell Tommy?
But we've got the Force.
Can you go tell Darryl how to use the rangefinder?
Yeah.
Thanks. And of course, that 2-die shot is a hit crit because that's the way X-wing dice work. It doesn't look like Tommy used his force token to save himself on defense there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. No, he did, right? He's got 1 shield left.
Yeah, but if he did, he should have only taken 1 hit. Doesn't that thing have 3 shields?
No, it's 2 shields.
Oh,
so it's 6 health, 2 shields, 8 health total.
Never mind.
Well, those dice weren't ideal.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, I think everybody is fired, so we are back to dials, and of course, Captain Rex has got his condition on.
on
On
Vermeil.
Vermeil, yep. So if I'm Vermeil, I think I go real fast and try to block Hera this time.
One straight.
What's that?
I said I don't think that would work. I think you're going to get the one straight, and then with the suppressed fire condition, is that if? Let me read that card before I make a butt out of myself.
Too late.
Yeah, so that applies even if Rex is out of arc. So I don't do that because then you're jousting Hera with a 4-die primary with your 2-die primary, and so if
I
Hera
don't.
goes one
Yeah, I suppose
straight,
that's true. But I mean, Hera's going to have a hard time getting her primary on anybody who doesn't joust her, so I guess that's fine.
might actually consider out of her meal is the one bank one hard.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because you want to get all guns on Corrin this turn if you can, and you certainly have that opportunity here, unless Darryl bugs out, which I don't think he's setting up.
On that as well. I think now that Rex has shot and applied his condition, you just swat him like a fly.
Yep.
Two bank from Scourge, 3 straight from Vessery, one bank, one hard from.
I know Vince really thinks that was an intentional self bump, but a one forward would have achieved the same result, and you would have had a token. So I think Vince is insane, personally.
Well, we can't call him out by name.
I will. I mean,
a lot of
now he's predicting that Hera will one bank, and if I'm Vermeil, I welcome that because that puts him on a rock. So
agreed. We will be analyzing a lot of philosophical thoughts and decisions tomorrow evening.
So, the bad part for Tommy, I think, is that Vessery doesn't have really a clear path to bank to the right. I think Vessery's kind of got to go forward. Scourge does have the ability to do a 1 or 2 hard and attempt maybe a flanking maneuver here. Captain Rex did a right bank, probably barrel rolls to attempt to block, would be my guess. It won't block, but it's a good attempt. I mean, I guess it could block. I mean, it probably blocks Vessery if Vessery goes for the evade maneuver, right? It has to go 3 or 4 or 5, but it won't block Vermeil, and that's going to be painful.
Did we do the?
Oh, well, it looks like no. Tommy went for the crazy boost, the crazy block. That's real bad if Hera did the one forward as you think.
Force, take the evade.
Oh my god.
Huh, that cleared.
Vessery did not bump. See, I said that it would not bump, and I totally meant that.
Bye.
Wow. Nice move,
Farewell.
Tommy.
As Wiedersehen. Good night.
All right, so Corrin commits to the right, hoping to get Vermeil. I'm really interested to see what Hera does here.
Yeah, that might be a bullseye shot for Corrin onto Vermeil at that angle.
Definitely. Definitely could do the double tap, but it is through a rock. And there's the one forward you were afraid of.
Bird. Yep.
Yeah. This could be a very dead Vermeil very fast.
Now he has to pray that Vermeil lives through this shot so that target lock sticks around. So he can love tap Rex there.
And there's the right too hard for the TIE fighter that I sort of thought, gives you options if Corrin had gone the other direction. Oh, but he fails the barrel roll.
I still probably would have two banked instead of too harding there. Options, but also I was predicting that maneuver from Rex, and that would have given you the bullseye right onto Rex.
All right, well, Vermeil is going to be in a world of hurt probably after this turn. 5 dice versus 1 here from the primary. Tommy's hoping for blanks into blanks. That is not blanks into blanks. Oh,
Ouch.
that is painful.
Natties.
Natty
Who's
evades,
that?
so that would be half points on Vermeil.
Left. And an outmaneuver Corrin with a target lock focus coming in. This is where you double tap to get the delete, even if you don't kill him on the first shot.
I think you went down 1 too many. Yeah, there we go. All right, Tommy went back up to 3. Yeah, the double tap has a very good chance of killing Corrin here. I mean, killing, Vermeil here, for sure.
Right, but the double tap doesn't happen until the very end, so he's got some fight back.
Yeah, it's 3 versus 3, so he's really got to pray that he gets paint.
It is unobstructed on Major Vermeil.
It is. It's 3 versus 2.
One.
I wish
how is
Darryl
that
would
unobstructed?
use the trace function, like.
He did.
Oh, okay.
It just went away very, very quickly.
Gotcha.
Oh, it snapped the corner to the top left, top right corner.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So 3 versus 2.
Oh, no, outmaneuver, so 3 versus 1.
3 versus 1. You are correct.
He crits and has to roll paint on defense. This is why I was talking about taking the evade, because you have the force.
Well, blank, 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 into blank, blank, blank. I mean, this is why Darryl's list was picked in the top 3.
Yep.
But also, this is why Vermeil should have one-hearted.
That's a good start for Vermeil.
That is. This leaves Darryl in a tough position, right? He's got to decide whether he uses the target lock now.
He does.
He
and,
does.
That fixes the problem.
That was the right call.
Oh!
Natty evades,
okay.
takes the 2 crits.
No fuel leak, no direct hit. That's all you're asking for.
Console fire, that could kill him. And damage engine. All right.
It's
All right,
fine.
so that
Everything's fine.
That target lock is still there, which was the important part. If you are Tommy.
Yeah. So not initiative killed, but a lot depends on this console fire as well. Now the good thing, sort of, for Tommy here is Vermeil's going to have the ability to escape, unless Rex kills him. That is super unfortunate, because I feel like you have to keep that focus for defense against Rex.
Did he shoot with Scourge?
No, I think he did not shoot with Scourge. But he may not have... Yeah, he's got arc. Wait,
Yeah,
who's
he
firing?
at least attack.
He fired it with
Oh, that was Vessery.
Vessery, yeah.
You turn on Scourge's arc to demonstrate. Ready?
No, I never saw it.
No. So to remind them that Scourge has to shoot, would you like?
You can go let him know. It's fine. There we go.
So that I turned that on to remind them.
Oh. You should really go tell them when you do stuff like that.
Bye, BRB.
Is he going to keep the dice from Vessery, or?
That's really between. He should. That's between him and Darryl, though. Darryl's defense dice have been real bad.
Yeah, I agree.
So Darryl took the
That's
2 hits there. Oh, nope.
That's 1 shield gone on Corrin.
Yeah, it's unclear what they're doing here because Darryl reduced the shields too much. I think.
Mm-hmm. There we go. There, they fix it now.
Okay. And then I guess they're going to make Tommy fire again.
I'm not sure. Once Rick gets back, I'm sure he'll tell us what's going on.
So it looks like they're now processing the damage from. Wait, what? I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah. They went back and they shot Scourge out of order.
Yep.
And then they decided to keep Vessery's shot,
Okay.
which was 4 damage into Scourge or into Rex, and Rex gets deleted.
Oh
Oh.
wow.
Okay.
Fair, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Because he wouldn't have had a range 1 shot on Corrin anyway. So that makes sense.
Rick, can you go remind them also to remove Corrin's target lock because he spent the target lock on Vessery.
So Vermeil does not take damage from his console fire, stays alive. This is a pretty big turn. So.
And also suppressive fire is gone now too.
Yep.
So he's got 4 mods plus the auto conversion from Vermeil because Hera has no token.
Yep. That is a big, big, big turn. Even with Vermeil sitting there on fire.
Really have dial options next turn because Hera's blocking them.
And there, oh my gosh, there is Vermeil's shot on Hera. Now, obviously, Hera's got enough shields to deal with all of this.
Save the force, save the focus, use Vermeil. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, he doesn't need to. He's not taking any more shots.
No, Corrin can still shoot them.
Corrin still might.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, of course. Corrin could choose to do... Yes, that's fair.
And I still probably would.
Yeah, it's probably... I mean... You take the chance, right? You've got a chance to take Vermeil off the board in the first turn. Or first turn of combat, second turn of combat. You do it. Yeah,
and
I agree.
And Vermeil is his only target lock, so Vessery basically turns off. Oh, is he not doing it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, he looks like he forgoes to shoot with Corrin.
I'm going to ask him just to be sure. I mean, it probably, the good thing for Corrin here is he can both block Vessery and chase Major Vermeil this turn. Oh, looks like they are checking now. Must have reminded them.
Yep.
Interference!
I'm the worst TO. Look, this is a funsies league. And also we're trying to... demonstrate what good X-Wing looks like. And, that's
and we picked the wrong group of people for that.
Yes. The quote-unquote good X-Wing.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I'm part of this league, too. I'm not a good player.
Oh, shut up.
We screwed up with letting Vincent.
So we've got 3 versus 1 again. I mean, it's a no-brainer shot. You're 3 versus 1. Tommy's got mods, but he can only mod 1 die. So, as long as Corrin rolls 2 hits, Vermeil dies.
Yep,
there it is.
Dead Vermeil.
Sorry, Tommy.
Hey, Vermeil is 3 for 3 in evades, though.
Indeed. Now, of course, that means Corrin will be weapons disabled this next turn. And, of course, Hera is down to hull. So this is, that trade of Vermeil's 63 points for Captain Rex's 30 points doesn't look good in the short term. We'll see what happens as we move into turn 6 here.
but it's now 2 versus. It's 2 versus 2, but it was 3 versus 3.
Yeah, I mean, here's kind of where Scourge as an I5 is at a real disadvantage because Corrin is a much better I5, and arguably Hera is as well.
Since Corrin is weapons disabled, he probably 3 hards left around the rock and tries to boost clear of Scourge's arc because Scourge one
Well,
hit.
I think he's got two ways he could go here, right? So he could go to the right and try to block a fast move from Vessery, which is probably what I would do, to be perfectly honest. Try to prevent a 4 forward. But he could, as you say, wait till Vessery moves and then just get the hell out. The problem is potentially there is if instead Vessery does a 3K and Scourge does a 1 hard, that leaves Corrin vulnerable to 2 shots. And, Corrin is down a shield and will not be able to shoot back this turn. So it really depends on what he wants to do with Hera, in my opinion. If Hera comes barreling around that rock with a 2 hard, then, Corrin being in between 2 ships probably doesn't matter.
2 maneuvers that are absolutely not going to be dialed up. I know that Hera is not going to be doing a 4K because that'll put her off the table.
Right, correct.
And then I also know that Corrin will not be 3-slooping because his front arc does not manage, so it is best for him to withdraw, reset, and gain a target lock.
Yeah, and as you say, Vessery no longer gets the benefit of any target locks in this list with the death of Vermeil.
Exactly. So Vessery is now just a generic I4 defender, which is really hard to kill, but does not have nearly the same offensive output since it does not have juke.
I mean, maybe Darryl will be kind enough to target lock Corrin with Hera.
Interesting.
Okay, no, that's not going to happen.
Well, what I was thinking about is, does Vessery's ability trigger on friendly target locks or only local target locks?
I think it's only friendly target locks.
The strategies with things like...
So there's the 4K from Vessery, as I kind of thought he might do.
Vessery triggers off any lock because it says while you perform an attack against a locked ship, it doesn't specify whether it's a friendly or enemy lock. So
all right, everybody go shame Darryl into target locking Corrin with Hera. Look at that.
Counterthought is I need to not do that. I need to stop. Counterthought here is that Vessery is the perfect anti. That's a punishment. Is the perfect anti-matchstick meta.
He's also
great.
pretty good against Hollow.
Yep.
I missed it. But such is my lot in life.
Huh. All right, so Corrin barreled through the rock, took a shield. Hera did a 1 forward. Will maybe have a shot on Vessery.
What?
And Tommy does a 2 hard, aggressively skirting that rock.
Tommy, the master of placement.
And
what?
No, why going forward? What? No. Why did you do that, Tommy? Just token up. Oh, I guess you get the barrel roll, but why go forward?
Because he's going to wreck Corrin is why.
No, but then you potentially
open
yourself
shot
up.
on Hera.
I know. Tommy's an aggressive player and probably very
and
tired.
You just blocked the return from Vessery.
All right, so he does have range and arc on Vessery with the dorsal. So this will be a...
what was Vessery's action?
Vessery... target lock.
Vessery took a target lock.
Oh, there it is. I see
Target locked Hera. So I think Darryl's having some trouble with getting the arc. Okay, it looks like he checked the side arc, and the side arc does not have... Actually, I have no idea which arc he's checking here. Rick, can you go check what's going on?
Yeah, it looks like it's range 1 out the side against Vesri. I mean,
Well, I think he
from
checked
my
the
end.
back arc, and that's where. Nope.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
That works.
There we go. So he's definitely got range 1 on Vessery, and range 2 on Scourge with the dorsal.
Yeah, that's how I was confused as to why Scourge went
Right.
forward, because you just open yourself up to the dorsal.
Yeah. Well, because green dice are amazing. Right? I mean, obviously, 2 versus 3, Scourge just laughs at that. Honestly, I think what he was going for was Scourge's bullseye on Corrin to try to punish Corrin.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's just, he could have done it without getting shot back.
Right, by going left. Yeah. Correct. What we're agreeing on is that a barrel roll to the left makes sense to get the extra die. So I'm not sure what's holding up.
He's probably deciding who is to shoot, Vessery versus Scourge.
Well, you've got 3 versus 3 on Vessery, and Vessery's got an evade, or 2 versus 3 on Scourge. I feel like the math
Scourge has a stealth device as well. So
that's
it's 4.
true. That's true. So we don't know who he fired at.
Oh, that's probably Vessery.
We'll find out if he spends the evade. And he does, and no damage.
Yeah, because he rolled 3 dice, so it'll be Vessery, range 1.
Right. He didn't.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
Correct.
All right. So now we've got 3 dice back on Corrin.
Or it could be here against Hera.
I mean, it could be, but I don't think I care about that barrel roll unless I am taking a shot at a tokenless Corrin. I mean, Hera's easier to kill.
Okay, single crit.
I guess we'll know if we see dice rolled or not. That's a crit.
Nope,
He went after Hera. And a direct hit.
Okay, well, I mean, that seemed worth it.
Yeah, 1 away from half points after that.
With that, move the defense die. That's why you barrel roll. To guarantee any paint you roll goes through.
Right. Now, of course...
but it makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, to confirm, Scourge does still have the stealth device. So is rolling an extra die. Now, we are on to the next round here. Poor Vessery's kind of in no man's land here. What do you guys do with Vessery? Dead silence. Because as you guys noted, it does make the K-turn back potentially impossible because of where Scourge ended up after the barrel roll, which is maybe another argument for rolling straight left. But on the same token, Scourge only fired against 0 dice because he did go forward. So
I have a feeling that Corrin is either going to continue running. Well, no, he's not R2D2. He has the action one for the hull, so he can't regen yet. So either Corrin does a hard 2. Do they have a hard 1 turn?
Now is when Corrin sloops.
Corrin does have a red 1 hard.
They have a red. Yeah, it's either the 2 hard left or he does a sloop out the back way. Hera most likely does a 2 turn in. Ideally, Scourge bumps into one of them. So imagine if Corrin did a 3 sloop to the right. If Scourge bumps into Hera, that still feels bad. I just don't want Scourge to get shot by 2 ships this turn.
Yep.
That's what Tommy doesn't want to. So ideally, he bumps into one and just praise the dice god that he's out.
Oh, this is insane. Hear me out. 4 straight from Vessery. 1 hard from Scourge into Vessery so he doesn't move.
But if Hera does a 2 hard turn, then Scourge just eats
Yeah.
a 4 dice primary.
Yeah, I
Fair.
think honestly, I think Scourge's safest move is a 2 forward. So the real
Yeah.
question is, what the hell do you do with Vessery, who has to move before both of the opponents?
Like I said,
I
2K.
feel like no. I think like a 3 bank to the left, hug the rock, and next turn 4K and back into the fight. So you just out of
Yeah.
fight for 1 turn.
Yeah, I think you're right. I worry a little bit that the 3 bank will end up on the rock, but I don't disagree fundamentally.
Or you 3 bank to the right to flank Hera, because you're going to get your evade anyway. You already have the target lock, and you have 7 health.
And you do potentially block Hera with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
that's another choice. Yeah, 3 bank onto the rock, or over the rock. I mean.
Yeah. If Hera does move in, which makes a lot of sense. All right, so Tommy did do the 3 left bank,
Nope.
which, as I was afraid of, ended up on a rock and takes a shield. That's unfortunate. And may
It's the
go over
evade.
that rock again with the K turn.
Mm.
And now we see there's the sloop, as expected.
Mm-hmm.
And Hera probably does a 2 turn.
Yep.
There's a 2 turn.
So the advantage
that
to
3 bank.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah, Rick was right. The 3 bank over the rock for Vessery would have been perfect.
Yeah.
On the right side, not to the right, not to the left.
Yep, because now Scourge is going to take 2 shots.
Or Scourge did a.
Oh, Scourge is like, see ya, bitches. All right. So we'll see if. So definitely Corrin will not be double tapping this turn. Probably has a shot at range 3 on Scourge.
I might have also considered the 2 bank or the 3 bank left from Scourge to just
a
guarantee
bump.
the bump on Hera.
Right.
Yeah. And then you're trading naked dice with Corrin.
Yeah.
Okay, so still obstructed.
Yep.
So I don't understand the ghosts of ships past affecting this rangefinder, but that's just me.
Bugs are fun, man. Now, on the bright side, if Scourge lives through this turn, which he should, you can bring Scourge in behind, and now you are putting bad decisions on Darryl. So go
Scourge
around that
really
rock.
wishes he had a boost.
Yeah, if only he had afterburners. All right, so 2 hits against 4 dice, and 5 dice. Sorry, Scourge just laughs. Fuck you and your 3
rolled
dice.
1, 2. He should roll 6, I think, but yeah.
No, he's 1 down because of outmaneuver.
Oh, true. You're right. You're right.
Jeez.
So
Range 2.
So going with the primary shot on Vessery, or at least measuring that range.
That might be range 1 to Scourge as well.
Yeah. Yep, it is range 1 to Scourge,
range 1
so
to
that
Scourge.
would be 3 versus 3.
Yeah, so it's 3 versus 4 for stealth, or 3.
Of
4
course, I'm
versus
forgetting the stealth
3.
device. Yeah, 3 versus 4 or 4 versus 3. I think you got to go against Vessery here.
Oh. Yeah, so not to have dead air, like let's talk this through. I still think you take Vessery. That was your intention, and honestly, you're more likely to hit him. You get an extra die, and
Yeah.
he gets one fewer.
Yeah. And he does go with
And
the
there it
primary
is.
shot. So we've got 4 versus 3.
Oh, there's something's going through.
Stepping away. Okay. I would like to have Darryl's red dice tomorrow.
Yeah,
Don't let Vince
Darryl's
hear
red dice
that.
have been real good this whole game.
Yeah.
He all he wants. That's why I shouted out to him earlier. I know he probably was a little sassy about it, but oh well.
It's
I
fine.
miss you,
Vessery
buddy.
just rolls natties and takes a shield. It's fine.
He rolls natties, and then he spends the evade to add an evade.
This is not 1.0, Rick.
Excuse me. That's what we should do. We should have done a Militant Casual 1.0
Nope.
Jank lead.
Nope. Nope. I'm just going to nope that. 1.0 was terrible.
When I went to Worlds, 2 years ago now, I was flying 100-point Miranda, and I shot a 5 dice harpoon missile at a defender. It was through a rock, so he rolled 4 greens, got all 4 paint, added his evade, dodged the 5 dice homing missile or harpoon missile.
Well, first of all,
That's what you deserve for using Miranda.
First of all, fuck harpoon missile. But yeah. All right, waiting for Tommy to roll his defense dice.
Not World Test, Gen Con. It's doing really, really good. Really enjoying it. Then in the round of top 32, I ran into a Miranda Nim, and that was actually a matchup I had failed to practice.
That's just real bad for Tommy.
Yep, so there
Bye,
goes
shields.
all his shields.
Yep. So that's half points on Vessery.
Don't worry, there's 8 more on the rock. If he just flies over that rock, he'll get all of them back.
It's fine. Scourge is going to solo those fuckers.
I mean, probably not, but it's a nice thought.
Well, at least this game won't go to midnight. I guess that's what I would say. All right, so we should be back to dials here. Poor Vessery is in a world of hurt and is probably going to hit that rock again no matter what he does. Scourge can basically do whatever Scourge wants. So what do you guys do to try to pull this out if you're Tommy?
Pray to dice gods.
That's what you always say, Daniel.
Because that's the situation that he needs right now. That's what he needs.
So according to Vince, Hera rolling 4 out of 4 hits is normal, and that's why you don't step into the quote bear cage unquote with Hera.
I'm gonna really enjoy streaming your game against him tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say.
But here's the thing: is I don't really see a good dial option for Scourge, because I mean I think the 3 and the 4K are both blocked, and so I think you either have to 2 hard left or to bank right, and I don't like not having a shot for that turn, considering you only have 3 to 4 turns left in the game.
Yeah. This game has moved a lot faster.
Yeah, I mean, Vessery tries the 4K, probably goes over the rock, gets the evade.
Yeah.
Maybe gets lucky, puts a chain of crits into Hera that makes Hera just explode.
There's the 4K.
Look, no rock.
No rock. All right, so that's good for him.
Focus evade lock.
Yeah. Because he can't take a shot from Corin this turn, most likely.
Corin 4 straights. And then probably boost locks.
If he does boost, then perhaps. And there's Hera.
Hera then barrel rolls out of Vesri's arc.
Yes.
Oh, wow!
So
That was cool.
Darryl has chosen violence.
He dies, you might as well.
I think Corrin has to, I was going to say, has to boost here, but he fails the target lock. Well, at least on Vessery.
No, he doesn't. Because...
On Vessery. Yes, he can take it on
No,
Scourge.
that's an E-Wing.
Oh,
That's
right.
It's-
Yes, of course.
But yeah, the linked action is boost into lock.
So he did not boost. Yeah. So he can get that lock, sure. But it's not going to help him this turn.
Yep. Take a lock on either of them.
Yeah, as long as it's not range 1, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Yeah, he won't shoot Vessery though. But if he had kind of eyeballed the distance better, he could have boosted first and then
Right.
and then the lock.
I wonder if he's worried he would bump the boost on Hera. I don't think so, but again, Vassal's harder than the table because the top-down view is not something we're used to as a perspective in play.
Advantage in Vassal because I'm so tall that I'm used to looking more down on a table.
Yeah. Whatever you say, Rick.
Okay, let's say he grabs it on
Yeah.
Scourge.
And Scourge did what I kind of thought Scourge would do, which is take a left turn and hope to maybe come in behind Hera at some point in the distant future. And he might not be in range 2 of that ion. Not that matters because Hera's clearly going to take the range 2 shot.
Yeah,
on-
Hera has her
Vessery.
sight set.
Yeah. So we'll see 4 dice, and if Darryl's dice hold, that'll be brutality.
Good news, he took a target lock, not a focus. It
Oh
doesn't matter.
my god!
And it doesn't matter.
All right, Tommy's flipping the table, especially flipping the table because he's going to take 2 crits.
Don't worry, he has no shields to absorb them with.
If Vessery goes down right now, I just concede. There's no point.
Why is he?
Oh look, it's not that bad.
The sensor array is terrible. Oh,
Yeah, 'cause he
I
won't
know,
roll.
but he's not dead.
Right. Yet. All right. Well, now we will see violence back at Hera. Oh, Tommy.
It's okay. He has the target lock
It's true.
and the focus. So Hera's a half. Yay!
Hera's at half points. Scourge is going to solo these guys.
Is a full Scourge worth more than half a Corrin?
Scourge is 39 points with the stealth device. Corrin is 90.
So no.
No.
How about Hera?
Hera is actually cheaper than Corrin. You missed this when we started out. This is the only list I've ever seen where Hera is cheaper than an E-Wing. So yeah.
Basically, you kill Corrin with Scourge, and half Hera, and then you just run for, the next couple rounds.
Yes. Though it's going to be pretty hard for Scourge to get a shot on anybody this turn.
Yeah,
You
and
have to
unfortunately,
get-
the turn counter is at 10.
Yep.
So they're also looking at what this turn. So this. 11,
They've got 3
12.
turns.
Yeah,
This
three,
turn,
three,
next turn.
three
then-
turns left.
Yep.
What ended up happening to Hera? I wasn't paying attention.
Hera
Just
just took
took
3
crit
regular
damage.
damage.
Okay,
But you should probably pay attention, Mr. Caster.
that's true.
So what do
I
you
was trying to
do?
do the math.
What do you do with Vessery here?
One bank
Which direction?
to the left towards Corrin. Hera's gonna do a 4K. You can't stop it. Yeah.
I mean,
Or
Vessery.
you can't run because
Right.
you don't have time.
Yeah. But you could 3 hard right and barrel roll left behind the rock.
Yep. You have a damage sensor array. You don't
Oh,
even
no,
get
you
your
can't.
evade this turn.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah,
Good
that's
night,
just
sweet
the
prince.
one bank left. Focus and pray some more. Because Hera's doing the 4K behind you. Corrin's gonna do like a 2 or 3 bank towards you. Scourge is gonna be out of the fight again because Scourge is probably gonna do a 3 hard turn to the left, and same thing the following turn. So Scourge will get maybe 1, maybe 2 shots left. Vesper's probably gonna die this turn. Yeah, it is not looking good for Tommy here.
It's 3K from Scourge. Can we all agree on that?
What about a 2K from Vessery?
The 3 hard to the right.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're...
That's
Oh, wow. Vessery misses the rock.
Sure.
Tommy
Tom
has been a
no
magician
evade.
with these moves near the rock, except for the 3 bank.
be right
Wait.
back.
Can he get the evade?
No, he can't. He's
No.
damage sensor array. He has to
Yeah.
focus or fix
Yeah.
a crit.
Right. I mean, you take the focus, I think, no matter what.
You could potentially barrel roll. Oh no, you can't barrel.
No, because the damage
Just
sensor array.
focus.
Right.
Just focus or fix a crit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
you
was thinking you
focus
could-
just
you-
to try to
you
stay
could-
alive.
Yeah, if you could barrel roll left, block Corrin and Horn maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's
Well, no, with the
Well, he's with the damage sensor array. He's going to either have to fix it or
focus. That's your only choice.
He's going. Yep, and Corrin will probably be range 1 outmaneuvering.
with advanced
it'd be
proton
4 on-
torpedo.
No lock, can't lock.
Oh, no
It'll
lock.
be
No
range
lock.
1.
You're right. You're right.
Nice with a focus.
Oh no!
Oh,
So he self bumped to try to get arc on
so,
Vessery.
yeah, that's smart. That's really
Yeah.
smart.
Did it? Pulled it off.
Yeah.
Did Vessery fix the crit? Is that what it was?
Let's see. Let's see if we can tell by going into here. Still seems to have the crit. No, he did fix it. He only has the damage engine up now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is probably where Vessery dies.
4 versus 3, no tokens. Yeah. Red dice are better than green dice.
This is where he changes Herod's dial to be a 3 hard off the right.
There's
No,
the
the
4K,
4K is
as
fine.
predicted.
Okay.
It's still fine.
Was making jokes.
Yeah, because the Hera 4K puts her in line next turn for Scourge. If Scourge does the 2 or 3 hard, like
Yep.
that.
And there's the 3 turn left, hoping to get some arc next turn.
Yep.
Probably a 3K gets a
Tommy's
shot
on
on Corrin, funnily enough. Alright, here's the range 1. Dice v dice.
4v2.
Wow.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Only
4v2
one
without
arrow.
maneuver. Yep. Oh, Tommy. Tommy.
Flip the table. Flip
Tommy.
the table.
Oh, Tommy. He should just barrel roll off the board
We love
over
him.
and over again. And no shot for Hera, so now we come back.
Yeah, and this is
Well,
where if
here's the
I'm
thing.
Tommy, I just concede.
No, Tommy could do this.
Tommy has initiative. He can arc dodge.
No, he gave initiative away.
Right, move second, so he can arc
Yeah,
dodge.
Tommy moves
He's
second. He can arc
fine.
dodge.
Right. A TIE fighter is notoriously great at maneuver, so you're right. He's going to keep fighting, though. Tommy doesn't know the meaning of quit.
So again, he has to kill Corrin. That's only his.
It's
That's
fine.
his only
It's-
chance for victory.
It's fine. He's got this.
How many points is Scourge? Wait,
Scourge
no,
is
don't
only
tell me.
39. Well, I guess that.
Scourge is not.
I don't-
Half a
It's
Corrin
39.
is worth more than Scourge.
Yeah. And I guess maybe
He-
because of the bid, you're right. That if Tommy kills Corrin, he wins. Now,
It's
Scourge
literally-
does still have a stealth device. So he's got that going for him, which is nice.
Sure.
Look, Daniel, what do you want me to do? Here. I have to pump Tommy's tires. He's a founding member of the Militant Casuals.
Darryl's been flying a hell of a game. He's been doing exactly what he needs to be doing.
Yeah. Well, and the dice have definitely been to his favor.
Yeah.
All right, Scourge is just taking 2 shots. One's got a target lock and then a double tap, and the other's 4. It's fine. It's fine. Tommy, get him. Tommy's got this. I believe in Tommy. Tommy for president 2020. Oh, okay, so no double tap. Range 3. No outmaneuver here. I'm not sure why Tommy was checking arcs.
Oh, for outmaneuver.
Oh, I gotcha. Did he have arc? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he did.
I thought
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did.
Okay, I thought he did.
We're paying
Average
attention
roll.
this time.
Corrin could spend the target lock, but that would be silly.
Save it. End the game with advanced proton torpedo. Save the lock.
And Tommy Scourge just laughs at that one crit anyway. All right. Now where he really needed these dice is on the 4 die shot here. This is going to be hit, and Tommy's going to blank.
It's unmodded. It's unmodded.
It's going to be natties. That's what happens. There's 3. Oh, the focus saves Tommy, and or do you just take the
There you
damage
go.
and shoot?
No, spend it. Spend
Yeah.
it.
You have to keep the stealth device.
Oh, fair point. Yeah. All right. So now we got 2 dice back on 0.
Or you can go for the Corrin horn.
Nah, you go against Terra, I think.
But win condition, you have to kill Corrin.
I know, but he's not going to hit Corrin.
Corrin's unmodded.
He's got 4 dice. 5 dice. No, 4 dice.
Green dice haven't come up,
Yeah.
with the exception of Scourge, nobody's rolled evades this game.
It's true.
Yeah, and Vermeil roll evades, but you know
Yes.
what happened to
What evade every time, not so useful.
A lot on the board long enough.
I don't know. I guess you're right. I guess you got to take a chance at Corrin. But,
Tommy doesn't know points. He's shooting Hera because that's the easy target.
I mean,
True.
that's probably what I do as well, because this is a lost cause anyway.
No,
It
2
is.
hits.
2
Gonna
hits.
do it.
And he did fire at Corrin, and Corrin laughs
Yeah.
at 2 hits. And we're back
And
to
this is where
dials.
you say GG.
No. We do round 12, baby.
GG.
Scourge is going to kill Corrin on this round, and that's it.
Corrin's gonna launch a fully modded advanced proton torpedo in Scourge's face. That's what's gonna happen.
Don't be
Into a
scared,
blocked-
Tommy.
Into a blocked tokenless Scourge.
Don't be scared,
Yes.
Tommy. Oh, that's true.
Because Harris could do a 1 forward, probably block most
So
of Scourge's
hear me
moves.
out.
Two bank.
Hear me
Corn
out.
could
Two
do
bank.
1 or 2 forward.
5K for Scourge.
Don't have it. They have a 3 and a 4.
Yep, the 1 forward from Hera blocks
But
it
hear
all.
me out. If he had a 5K. No,
Yeah. If this was Kylo Ren with a supernatural, then yes, it's fine.
So I think what we've learned in our 2 games today is that Scourge is not the ace you're looking for, but he's not terrible.
Yasby thinks he is.
Oh, man. Poor Tommy. So,
That's
Hera,
Scourge
1
in my
forward or
list.
1 bank? What do you think?
Just 1 forward.
2 bank.
Okay,
Well,
there's that.
wow,
Wait.
I think...
Ben,
Yeah.
as TO, go demand they play a 13th turn.
I'll be honest, I don't understand that move at all.
He just did it as a last turn blocking move. That's all. To do that.
Oh, Tommy
Well,
did try to do the 4K. Oh,
This is
Tommy,
it.
why?
Proton torpedo. Bullseye. Double tap.
With a
Double tap.
If he doesn't die,
You know what? I believe that the only way this happened was through collusion, and I disqualify both of them.
oh, this is the perfect ending to a perfect day.
Oh God, how many dice is he rolling?
5
5
versus
5 against
4.
4, right? If Tommy
Yep.
dodges this with natties, that would be
Nope,
amazing.
it's outmaneuvered as well.
Okay, so it's 5 versus 3.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
5 versus
outmaneuver.
3.
Oh, God.
3.
Yep.
Good. That's a good start.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, why did he?
Why is
did
it?
he
Yeah,
do
why
that?
not? All right. Keeping the target lock for the double tap, I guess, when you could just.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But if he got in a hit, it would have just been dead.
Yeah, it would be over.
Okay, sure, fine. Go out with a flare, double tap Corrin. No, there's no crits.
I thought APT did add a crit.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it turns one to a crit.
Wounded pilot.
Doesn't matter. It's about to be a dead pilot.
Oh man. Well, it
Yes,
does.
his ego is certainly wounded.
It does appear that Darryl called the 4K, but probably a 2 bank was the better play there for Scourge.
Yeah, I agree.
That turret out the butt.
Evil.
Wait.
Oh, that's death.
Oh, it is the double tap.
Green
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah.
Hit crit.
Good night, sweet
Hit crit.
prince. All right. Well, that game was certainly silly.
Oh, and we forgot. Hera also has intimidation, so he rolled way too
Oh.
many green dice.
Yeah.
Redo.
Wait, hang it.
Oh, look at that.
So he could have just killed him with the first shot because 5
The
hits is
first
a
shot killed
guaranteed
him.
kill.
He didn't get the double tap. Yep. He was dead after the first shot.
According to Tommy, he dead. We're done.
All right, so this game was ridiculous. You're not gonna these 2 lists. Well, certainly Tommy's list is definitely jank. Darryl's less so. I'm not sure there's too much you're gonna take away from this game except hilarity. Darryl's dice were certainly hotter early on in this one. And yeah, I guess we will interview Tommy and Darryl as we've done in the last ones. Daniel, do you have any sort of summary thoughts here? Because I kind of don't.
No, I mean, Darryl played a great game. We had some questions regarding that block with his self bump with his corn initially, but I mean, everything else was kind of flown like Rick was predicting. Get it to 3 different lanes, and basically corralled Tommy in the corner, and Tommy couldn't do anything.
Yeah, honestly, not having arc on Corrin with Vermeil, because he went for the block like I would have done. So I have to say that I would have done the same thing you did, Tommy. So don't feel bad. Honestly, that pretty much guaranteed Vermeil was going to die. So, but both because of the double tap, but also
Yeah.
because of outmaneuver. What's your thoughts, Rick?
I feel like I did a pretty good job expressing him through the stream. I think at the closing, I think Tommy was kind of in a rock and a hard place because Darryl is a avid Rebel flyer and Tommy is not an avid Imperial. Excuse me, an Imperial player, and so there's going to be a list familiarity with that.
Yeah.
And in general, I think all things considered, it was good. I think if they played this game again, we would see a very different game.
All right. So hang out if you are watching. We're going to go into the game room and talk to Tommy and Darryl about their game. So let me just go ahead and switch over to that. And it looks like Tommy is not there. Oh, there's Tommy. Tommy's back. All right. Hello, listeners. So we're here with Tommy and Darryl, who just played a rollicking and hilarious game of look how hot my red dice are. And look how not hot my green dice are.
I feel like this is every game I play against Darryl. Hey, Darryl, how many hits can you roll? Hey, Tommy, how many blank green dice can you roll? All of them.
Yeah, so that was a fun one to watch. Darryl's got a real serious, almost non-jank list here. Tommy, somewhat less so. So let's start with you, Darryl. Let's talk about kind of what your goal was with your opening setup and where you wanted to have an engagement and what worked and what didn't work for you.
Well, in the opening, I set up in the upper, according to Vassal, upper right corner, which I guess player side is right side, if it's on your side.
Yep.
And I wanted to keep my option open that if he ran up the right flank, I could turn towards him, and if he does what he did, which was K-turn, which he did, of course, then I would have to fly through the rocks, and I chose to do so. So my options were either fight him and joust him in the bottom, or I got to make the flight through the rocks to go after him. And I figured with Hera being able to run that straight pass she ran, that long run between the rocks at the top of the board, I figured if he tries to go back after his stress move and K-turn, Hera can meet him up there and block him. So I figured either Hera's going to block him and get some shots on the way in, and my guys will catch up, or I'd fight him in the bottom right corner with the joust.
Yeah, we were talking about that as we went around, that when Tommy did start down the right side with all of his ships, that it clearly was to your advantage if the fight happened around the asteroid where the shield tokens are right now. So
Right.
we were talking about whether Tommy would try to cut one of the ships through the rocks to sort of threaten a flank. I think we really liked your K-turn and your sloops there, Tommy, in terms of resetting, because it did draw Darryl through the rocks. And actually, what was interesting is, Darryl, you did a 3-bank with Corrin to what looked like to try to maybe get a shot at Vermeil that looked at the time like it was going to leave Corrin a little bit out to dry. So I've got a question for you, but let's jump to Tommy, and say, Tommy, what were you hoping to get out of the initial engagement? Where did you want to engage? What was your plan?
Not fly Vermeil off the board by accidentally aileroning the wrong way.
All right, so you had high hopes.
Yes. Partially to separate them, at least to get that 4-gun Hera away for at least a round or two. During that first engagement, I was like, well, I wasn't sure if Corrin was going to go down toward the bottom of the screen or up, and I flanked Scourge off with that too hard toward facing the right side of the board,
Yep.
and that was a wasted opportunity. And then when Vessery landed on that rock, I was like, okay, well, that's done.
Yeah. Yeah, and took the damage. We actually thought you were going to end up taking damage, or at least going over the rock again on the 4K after that, but you did manage to dodge that, which was at least good.
Yeah, and then I don't know what I'm doing with the Reaper, and I just expect the Reaper to blow up first.
Yeah, we were talking about that before you made that the 3 bank. I kind of felt the same way that you went, which was, oh hey, try to block Hera. But Rick said, no, Hera will just 1 forward. You'll never do the block. And of course, that's what you did, Darryl. So what we came to as a consensus was actually do the 1 hard there, so you would at least have arc on Corrin if he went in. And you hedged your bets with the TIE Fighter, as you say. You did a 2 hard to try to make sure Corrin couldn't duck through the rocks and come in behind you. And that might have actually saved Vermeil's life, had that been the call. But you and I were on the same wrong page, so don't feel bad.
Yeah. Well, initially I was like, what if I just stop? And then a part of it is I'm trying way too hard to get Vessery's free lock.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and having the only other ship with target lock is Vermeil makes it very difficult.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, one thing that I was going on and on about, and I'll bring to you, is you have the Force on Vermeil. Unless you have no shots coming at you, take the evade. It'll prolong your life by several turns.
Why did it make sense for? I mean, in the end, I'm when building the list, I probably should have taken the stealth device off of Skurg and put the targeting computer on him. But that's 2 games too late.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Because
so far with Vessery, that does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because with Skurg just flies around, whatever.
Or you could take Magpulse warheads off.
Yeah.
What did you add, Tommy? It was the targeting computer to Vermeil, right?
To Vermeil.
Yeah. Darryl, what was your swap?
Let's see. What was my swap? Let me
I
take a look at the list
trajectory
again.
simulator for outmaneuver.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That sounds
Corrin
right.
didn't have anything, and I figured Corrin would be late moving and try to get position on people, so that's why I did that.
Yeah, that outmaneuver was MVP for you, right, Darryl?
It helped a few times. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's okay. It didn't matter because when I rolled green dice, the only person that rolled evades was Vermeil.
No, it was
too many green dice. We might add.
Scourge did once or twice. Scourge. Your problem was that Vessery never rolled evades.
Yes. Skurg rolled them all for the entire group.
Yeah, one at a time. On that opening engagement, Scourge rolled 3 single dice evades, and my 3 ships rolled 0 evades. Of course, Hera didn't have a dice to roll, but I think Rex he got 1 shot with no evades, and then I think Horn rolled blank focus, but he spent focus, so yeah, he rolled no evades either.
Yeah. So this was a matchup between players who had 1 loss at this point, and Darryl, you're going to be moving forward at 1-1. Tommy, you're going to be moving forward at 0-2, but you're going to have we're going to do something a little interesting when we get to the end of this round for the 0-2s. So I'm going to keep that secret for now, but if you feel like there's something you wish you had on your list, maybe that will get addressed as we head into round 3.
Like every single upgrade on Vessery?
It's not going to be that amazing, no. So anything you guys wanted to share from the game that, so we weren't able to obviously hear your guys' chat, but was there anything interesting that happened from your guys' perspective?
Oh, just me telling Darryl to stop rolling natties.
I mean, that is the secret to X-Wing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, lots of hits, lots of dice.
All right.
Yeah, for me, I wish I just had a bomb on Hera, so my fuel bombardier wouldn't be getting paid for nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've got and the ghost title doesn't do you any good. Static discharge vanes on Corrin doesn't do you any good. So you've got a few points that are probably poorly spent, because of course this is Jank Tank.
Yes, that is Jank Tank, exactly.
Add.
I'm pretty excited about my other Jank Tank coming up, though. But yeah, other than that, this is pretty good. I liked it.
Darryl is that outmaneuver on Corrin has the additional perk of being very, very powerful because you'll have your mods from target lock before you enter the engagement, so you'll be able to reposition. And there are only 2 Initiative 6 pilots in the entire league, so Corrin should be out initiative in the majority of your opponents.
Yeah, except of course the 5s that choose to make me move first, but that's not as many 5s. I take it. If it's only 2 6s, then it's probably not that many 5s.
Yep.
Tommy, you chose to give initiative away, and I'd imagine that was because you didn't want Corrin to be able to reposition on Scourge. Do you feel like that was the right call?
Probably not. I mean, at this point, that TIE fighter just blocking people is probably a better bet in this game.
Gotcha. All right. Daniel, did you come over with us to this room?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you have any questions
Hey,
or
what's
thoughts
up,
you wanted to share?
No, you guys covered most of everything there.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess what I'll say is thanks, Darryl and Tommy, for a fun game for us to highlight on a Sunday night, and also a faster game than the last one we started at 9 p.m.-ish, which is also good. Thank you to both Daniel and Rick for joining me on the stream as well. And we will be featuring a matchup between Rick and Vince tomorrow, the game where pretty much everyone is kind of rooting for both players to lose, interestingly enough.
Wow.
I'll take it.
By the
Take
way,
it.
in my X-Wing career of several games on GSP at tournaments and other stuff, as well as this is my first time on a Vassal televised game, this is my first win.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm
First
happy
win on
to have
stream?
broadcast
Tom.
your first stream win. That's awesome.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
Isn't that game on Tuesday?
Oh, it's Monday.
No, it's tomorrow.
No, it's Monday now? Okay.
Yeah, it's Monday night because I've got something going on Tuesday, so I knew that much. All right.
That's where
Tomorrow,
I read Tuesday.
9:15 p.m.
Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow 9:15 p.m. Come and watch everybody rag on Vince and Rick. Till then, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody.